I'd like to talk today about the first Apple Watch band that came with my very first Apple Watch. This is the white Sport band. Sports, which Apple describes as a high-performance fluoroelastomer with a pin and tuck closure. The tuck bit is here. Tuck, that gets tucked in. Now, I was surprisingly happy with this watch band. It's lasted 10 years so far, and I don't wear it a huge amount for reasons that I'll talk about. But in terms of the durability, it's been pretty good. And if you've never really used or touched one of these, it is a rubbery kind of material, but it is nice and soft in the way that like a silicone kind of a rubber is nice and soft. So in terms of comfort, it's quite nice. In terms of durability, it certainly has lasted the distance. The only thing that has actually put me off this, well, not the only thing, the main thing that caused me to stop wearing this watch band originally. Hey, what's happened to my video? Hello? I mean, these things happen, but if that keeps reoccurring, I'm going to have to stop this video and start again. You can see that because this is a white rubber material, it does get discolored and pick up some dirt. Now, there might be some secret ways that I can clean this, but if there are, I'm not really familiar with them. I did try and use like a magic eraser, which is a very, very, very fine abrasive, like sponge kind of material, and try and rub it off, and really no luck. If anything, it may have even scuffed up the surface, allowing it to pick up a little bit more dirt. So yeah, maybe don't do that. I think I've mentioned in other videos that I don't exactly baby my watch or my watch bands, but at the same time, I do treat them with respect, and I do treat them in a way that, you know, I would typically think should mean they last for quite some time. However, yeah, I typically, you may have noticed, I don't typically tend to wear light coloured clothing for the reason that it does show up stains and marks more easily. So let's just go over this this watch band quickly. And no. Is this OBS's fault? Is this my camera's fault? I did want to talk about the fact that this band was the default that came with my very first Apple Watch, so the Apple Watch now known as the Series 0. And I bought that watch in around 2015, and I kept it basically until the screen fell off in about 2020 when I bought the Apple Watch Series 6. So it's now 2025, and in theory that would make me due for a new Apple Watch, but I'm still really happy with this one that I'm using. So it'll be interesting to see how long I can push this one forward for. I guess as soon as whether the stop getting software updates will be what pushes me to a new one, or if it physically doesn't last, we will wait and see. In terms of my progression from Apple Watches, the original one that I bought was the stainless steel. It was a splurge at the time, but I really couldn't go past how much nicer it was from the material and the engineering aspects than the aluminium. The aluminium was really nice and light, and certainly nothing wrong with the way that it looked, the way that it felt. In fact, functionally slightly better because it was a lighter product. But the polished stainless steel was just really beautiful. When I upgraded to the Series 6, I had the choice between the dark coloured stainless steel or keep with that original. And kind of on a snap whim, I went with this darker watch. And it's not something that I regret, but I do wonder, you know, did I need to make a change? Now, the new Apple Watches, they don't even come in stainless steel anymore, so I guess that was my last opportunity. What caused me to go down that mental path was that I do quite like this contrast between the white band and the dark, shiny watch. It's a nice contrast. So if you haven't used one of these sport bands before, if you haven't seen it, there's really not too much to talk about functionally. It's a single piece on either side, fluorostomer, which I just call like it's like a nice soft rubber. Like I said before, it is quite durable as well. I said that the first reason that I stopped wearing it was the discolorization, and the second reason that it's not my would not be continue to be a go-to watch band for me is that because it's rubber, it's not breathable, and I'm not a super sweaty person, like, you know, TMI and everything, but I do find that it has this feeling of, or my wrist ends up being, you know, a little bit sweatier than if I was wearing like a leather band or a one of the woven bands. So I don't. On the plus side, however, it is ultra waterproof, and so if I was to go swimming and so on, this is the band that I would take. I really appreciate the design of the pin here. It's a really nicely machined item, and the way that it engages with this pin that clicks in a quite a nice tactile way. It's a really secure hold. I've never had a problem with this band falling off my wrist. I mean, I have rarely had problems with bands falling off my wrist, with the kind of the minor exception of the leather loop that I talked about a while back, where because it's held on only with magnets, if you tug it, if it gets caught on something and tugged in the wrong way, then it can get pulled off a little bit more easily than most of the other watch bands. So in terms of getting it on, it's a really natural kind of motion where you hold with one finger, press it in, tuck it. It's very, very efficient. Takes, you know, a couple of days for that to feel like second nature in terms of muscle memory, but a really nice way of tucking that in. Now, I believe that this watch band style was fairly uncommon until the Apple Watch came out, and you see this more and more now on other, not sure if other smartwatches or other watches in general. So for active use, I think this sport band is quite a good option, particularly because it doesn't absorb any water, and so particularly in wet environments, it's going to be it's going to be very robust. I have also used the solo loop, and I'm going to talk about that on another day. But because of this discoloration here, because of the rubber feeling against the skin is not quite as nice as a natural material, it remains not one of my go-to watch band options. Such is life. I've mentioned before, I'm still not 100% happy with any of the Apple Watch bands I've been using, so it is an ongoing journey to basically to find my favorite. Thanks, I'll see you next time.